Welcome back, gamers. Today we're exploring a game that plunges you into the depths of psychological and religious horror, Grey Dawn. Developed by Interactive Stone, an indie studio that made its debut with this title. Grey Dawn attempts to weave a tale of horror, faith, and psychological torment. But did it succeed, and is it worth your time? Let's find out. Set in the year 1920, Grey Dawn transports you into a remote village in England on a cold Christmas Eve. You step into the shoes of Father Abraham, a priest burdened with the disappearance of an altar boy named David and the death of several other children under his care. And the game's premise is steeped with religious symbolism, with its narrative unraveling through a series of surreal, often disturbing visions that blur the lines between reality and delusion. From the outset, it's clear, Grey Dawn aims to be more than just a horror game. It's a psychological exploration of guilt, faith, and redemption, and the story is packed with religious metaphors and symbolism, some of which may be familiar to those with backgrounds in Christian theology, while others delve into more obscure and esoteric aspects of religious lore. However, as you progress, the narrative becomes increasingly convoluted, as you're constantly shifting between different layers of reality. Sometimes you're in the real world, while at other times in a vision or a dream or even a nightmare. This Inception-like structure can be disorienting, but while it effectively mirrors the protagonist's fractured psychic, it also makes the story difficult to follow. The plot teeters on the edge of incomprehensibility, leaving you questioning not only what's happening, but also why is it happening. Visually, this game is striking. For an indie title, the level of detail in the environments is commendable. The game's art direction leans heavily into the religious themes, with churches, altars, and religious iconography filling the screen. The contrast between the serene, almost idyllic settings of the English countryside and the grotesque, nightmarish visions the Father Abraham experiences is stark and effective, and creates an unsettling atmosphere that will keep you on edge. The game's use of lighting and colors is particularly noteworthy, as dark, shadowy corners give way to bursts of vivid, almost surreal colors during visions, enhancing the overworldly feel of the game. This visual style, combined with the game's haunting soundtrack, creates a mood that is both eerie and captivating. But it is worth noting that the game's indie roots do show at times, as there are moments where the animations feel stiff and the textures aren't always polished as one might expect. That said, these are minor issues that don't significantly detract from the overall experience. When it comes to the gameplay, Grey Dawn is best described as a narrative-driven walking simulator with puzzle elements. This game places heavy emphasis on exploration and atmosphere rather than the traditional gameplay mechanics, so you'll spend most of your time walking through various environments, interacting with objects, and piecing together the story. And the puzzles you encounter are largely straightforward, though they do occasionally border on the obtuse. They're directly tied to the narrative, often requiring you to find specific items or manipulate objects in the environment to progress. For example, you might need to assemble a potion or rearrange a picture to unlock the next area. However, these puzzles aren't particularly challenging, they're more about advancing the story than testing your problem-solving skills. One of the game's major drawbacks is the lack of urgency and threat, as there is no time event and you're never in a real danger. This absence of stakes can make the game feel more like an interactive story than a true horror experience. If you're looking for heart-pounding chases or the fear of imminent death, you won't find it here. And the game's pacing is another point of content. Without the pressure of threats or time constraints, the game moves at a slow, deliberate pace. And while this allows you to fully absorb the atmosphere and story, it also leads to moments where the game feels like it's dragging, especially when you're stuck trying to figure out the next step of a puzzle. But where Grey Dawn excels is in its sound design, and the sound effects, from the creaking old wood to the unsettling whispers in the dark. So is Grey Dawn worth your time? That depends what you're looking for. If you're a fan of psychological horror and don't mind a story that is more about atmosphere and symbolism than clear, straightforward narrative, then this is a game you might want to play. But if you're looking for a more traditional horror experience with clear gameplay mechanics, intense scares, and a coherent story, Grey Dawn is not one I can recommend. For me, the game is a 7.7 out of 10. It's a good niche title, but it's definitely not for everyone. If you've played the game, did you like it? Would you recommend it? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching till the end. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a great day.